Hi, good evening, everyone. Yep, it's Wednesday evening again. How are you? Yep, okay, let's just see that whether we have actually officially gone live. Okay, let me just check it here. All right, so again, those of you who are here with us now, okay, do let me know whether, okay, you can actually see me or you can hear me. All right, give me some feedback, okay, so that I know whether this particular live stream is actually in a way reaching out to all you guys, okay, on my Facebook page or not. Of course, tonight's session itself, we're going to talk about the soul's journey and also why inner work is important. All right, so yeah, Shok Yi is there. Hi, Shok Yi. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Anyone else is there, right, who's tuning in? Do drop by, say hi. Tonight's going to be a chill topic, okay? It's not going to be too long, but basically it will be in a way for people who always constantly asking as in like, what is this inner work thing? Hi, Chang Feng. Melvi Gadas, okay, as usual. Hi, thank you so much, okay, for tuning in. All right, yes, loud and clear. Yeah, tonight, should remember to plug in the mic lah. Okay, all right, so there we are. Oh, Pauline Lee, okay, hi, Abracadabra. Pauline Lee, I'm not sure whether you are the Pauline, okay, who actually signed up for the Soul's Journey, all right? So if you are the same Pauline Lee, probably you can just like acknowledge here because there are so many people with the similar name. Hi, Jessie Fu. Okay, right. Jessie is actually one of our previous Soul's Journey students as well. Hi, Dominic. Nice to see you here. Okay, thank you for tuning in. Again, tonight's topic is all about like why inner work is important. I do not want to actually make it more like a one-way traffic sort of like thing. If you have any questions, okay, you want to ask relating to like this like word like inner work, okay, if you have heard about people talk about spirituality, inner work, meditations and stuff, okay, if you have any questions, okay, please do share with me, okay, or ask me the questions, okay, and then I will try my best to answer you. All right, I might not have answers to everything, but I will do my best to actually in a way answer you, and that's how we learn together. All right, so you're the same Pauline. All right, great. Okay, so Pauline will be joining, all right, for both I would say journey itself. Okay, so we're excited for that. Okay, and Leanne, all right, hi Leanne. Okay, nice to actually see you here as well, Leanne, as usual. Okay, all right. Okay, so tonight's topic first, before I start off, okay, it will be good if you can actually help me to share this session out so that it can actually reach out to more people. Yeah, I know, right? Whenever we come up with like in a way like a soul's journey, inner work and all these things, right? Most likely these are the topic that people normally will skip. Okay, if there's one topic they will choose to skip, it will most likely be this type of topic. Okay, hi Mr. Lim. Okay, good to see you here as well. All right, so yeah, I miss Singapore already. Okay, right. So I mean, in my experience, okay, because we actually look into like the statistics of like all the topics and also like the sharings that we do. Okay, so normally when it comes to meditative topic, okay, spirituality, or even especially inner work and all the things, especially inner work, I would say, because the thing is like, you know, it's not a very fancy name or title. When you talk about manifestations, okay, when you talk about like in a way make your life into a reality, make your dreams come true, we talk about wealth, okay, all these topics is like a lot of people are interested. Okay, but the thing is, okay, when we start talking about inner work, especially if we have to use this word itself, right, the chances is people will become in a way more resistant to it. Okay, and then like probably some of you will be asking as in like, then why are you still using this topic? I mean, in a way like you can share some other topics, okay, somehow that it will be even more like attractive, okay, to your audience. Now the thing is, right, because as a teacher myself, okay, I need to also know is like what is upcoming, what is the importance, okay, down the horizon, what's upcoming in the years to come and all the things, okay. It's not to say that in a way that I just keep on sharing what is in the peak now, as in like what is like really everyone looking for. I mean, it's like everyone is looking for something at this current, that topic are like the hot topic. But if I keep in a way sharing hot topic, but without in a way looking further, okay, to see that what are the most in a way important, okay, what are the most sought after topics, okay, in the near future. When I say near future means it's very near. All right, once we transit into period 9 next year officially, okay, this is the near future that I'm talking about. So you'll see that there will be a massive, in a way, like change and a massive change in energy, okay, that will be upcoming next year officially onwards, because that's the coming of period 9. All right. So when we wait until when this particular inner work thing becomes a hot topic, then only I share about it, it will be a bit too late. Let's put it that way. Right? Okay, so it's important for us to constantly, because we know what's upcoming, we know what's important, we will try to actually share it so that it can bring more awareness to people. All right, thanks Angel. Okay, Angel Tan, for tagging, okay, your friends. Okay, Hat Sashat. Okay, so read, inner work is important for breakthrough. Definitely. All right, and I like that heart sign there, because inner work is important for breakthrough, especially the breakthrough of the heart. Okay, so tonight's session, we're going to share something about inner work. So again, as I mentioned, if you have any questions, okay, do drop it at the comments below so that we can actually cater those questions and we can answer it so that all of us can learn together. All right, so first of all, let me just bring out the slides. All right. So when we talk about inner work, okay, these are the few things. I mean, I just collectively, in a way, collect these few points, okay, over the internet, okay, because in a way, I just type out there as in like, why inner work is important. So I collected a few points to actually share with you. You can Google about it, you can check about it, right? When you talk about, oh, inner work, why is it so important? They will talk about, oh, inner work is important for stress reduction. Example, it's important to improve emotional regulations, to improve our emotional well-being, our EQ level of things, okay? It also, in a way, improve, okay, in a way, cognitive function, okay, in the human, all right, better physical health, okay, and a greater sense of purpose in our life itself. This is just an example of a few things, okay? If anytime you Google about it, they will tell you that inner work is important for this, okay? But of course, for my side of thing, okay, I want to share, of course, something, right, that is not already available in Google or already available in the public, because whatever that we are sharing here, we emphasize on this classic ancient tool of Chinese metaphysics, okay, where why from this particular perspective itself, okay, that makes it a point that inner work is so important now more than ever, okay. So from this Chinese perspective, why is itself? Why is this like working on ourselves? Why looking within ourselves? Meditations, okay, and all these things are important. Like for Leanne to have better clarity. That's very good, because Leanne is also part of our pioneer soul's journey onto Egypt. All right. Now the thing is, okay, when we talk about Chinese metaphysics, and of course, okay, we cannot in a way run away from the basic symbol of yin and yang. So every time that we talk about like Chinese metaphysics, okay, we talk about yin and yang. We want to talk about the representations of this, both like the yin part and also the yang part. All right. So this yin and yang itself is important, okay, based on like how the evolvement, the change, okay, or the evolutions of Chinese metaphysics. And now we know that, okay, based on the symbol of yin and yang, we are proceeding to a new era, to a new, I would say, time zone. And this time zone itself, I'm sure that many of you here who followed me or any other like Chinese metaphysical teachers or gurus, you will know that we are approaching officially into this period we call a period 9. But I know many of you will say that, but period 9 or period 8 or period 7 or even period 1, it comes by every 20 years. What's the big deal? Okay, every time that you comes to a new period, after every 20 years, I see like, I'm 40 over, I have consciously witnessed the transitions, okay, as in like, in my adult world, I have consciously witnessed the transition between period 7 to period 8, okay? That is when it's like there is such a big hoo-ha about the whole period 8 intensity, okay? All right, so it's like people talks about it because at that time I have in a way clearly, in a way engaged myself in terms of like feng shui studies, in terms of like Ba Zi studies and all that, all right? So I have witnessed this, but I mean, yeah, the past 20 over years, it passed by. I see what are the changes, okay? I mean, every 20 years, you will witness this. I mean, probably for some of you, you even witness the transition into period 7, okay? Because you are more senior than me. But the thing is, what's so big deal about period 9? All right? So when we talk about period 9, you know that, okay, of course, right, okay, every 180 years, there is an upcoming, okay, portal or the opening, because every time you change of energy, the portal shifts, okay? There will be an opening of a new door and a closing of an old one, all right? And then when we go into period 9, that's why if you look into the Law Shu chart, okay, if you look into Ba Zi or any basic, in a way, studies of Chinese metaphysics, okay, the 9, star 9 in terms of feng shui and star 1 in terms of feng shui, they are very special. They're special in the sense that these are the stars, okay, they have no, replications. They have no double to it. All right, you can see that, let's say example, wood, you have two elements that relates to wood. Metal, you have two elements that relate to metal. I mean, you look at Earth. Earth, technically, you have two elements that relate to Earth. Your star 8 and your star 2, okay? But at the center of this alignment, okay, of the center of this alignment, okay, then that is where you find the three most important stars at the center of the alignment. That's your 9, your 5, and your 1. And the 9, 5, 1, these three stars itself, you have no replica, no substitute, no alternative, okay? There's no two elements, okay, that carries the same energy. You have only one element that represents fire, and you only have one element that represents water, and only one element that in a way represents your 5 yellow, which is either earth or fire. I mean, if you know feng shui, okay, you will understand this, because right, 5 yellow itself, a lot of times, right, people say Wang is an earth star, right? Okay, but in terms of feng shui studies, this 5 yellow, which is at the center of earth itself, is not represented by earth. You know, look at the landform matters, okay? When you look at the 5 yellow, the landform matters of a 5 yellow is represented by a chastity star, which is a fire star to start off with. So therefore, you see, these three numbers are very important and special numbers. And all it starts, okay, it starts with the 9. Right? Because every time after 180 years, okay, this portal will open. And of course, those of you who've been following me, you know that the top portal in a way officially opens, okay, last year in 2022. That it says the opening of the Grand Centurion portal open, okay? All right, but what's so big deal about this, okay? So you know, we talk about period 9, it's all fire related. We talk about yin and yang. We look at the gua itself of the Li Gua, where the center becomes hollow, right? The center becomes, in a way, broken line comparatively to the upper and the lower line, which is the yang line, okay? And from this, we know that in period 9, is a timing where we see that, okay, that Tau symbol, okay, that Tau symbol that is as one, it is moving apart, it is opening apart to open up a portal at the center, okay? So when you think about opening up a portal at the center in terms of energy ascension, when we talk about energy work, this is the best timing for energy work, because this is the timing where you see that, okay, that energy intensity gets accelerated. That's why you will see that this few years itself, I mean, in a way, those of you who are in Malaysia, if you have experienced, example, okay, the nearest thing that Malaysians will experience for Chinese New Year is that super humid, hot weather during Chinese New Year, right? Every year in my entire life, as long as I can remember, okay, as an adult, okay, as long as I can remember, I always remember that Chinese New Year, okay, it's always have what we call a label. They have a special weather for it. It's called or labeled as a Chinese New Year weather, because you expect that these are the timings where you hardly see any rain, right? It will be intensity of sun and it will be very, very hot. All right, so Mei Chan, okay, are you the Mei Chan, okay, that I see today? All right, because it's like sometimes when I see you as a client, it's like, okay, I don't remember your name, but I remember your Facebook name. All right, so if you look into that, right, you will see that the world has gone into a massive shift, okay, in terms of energy, and weather is part of the energy. You will see all this shift itself, okay, becomes intensified. All right, there will be a lot of extremes, okay, energy or weather's happening, okay, in the world started, okay, right, these few years, especially last year. It started last year, and it will only get intensified. Next year coming in, it will be even, I would say, worse in the sense that the intensity just gets greater. All right, but this is how energy works, because you go into a time zone where the opening of the energy portal, okay, is there. So when you identify this opening, you know that everything, okay, when we talk about energy, is accelerating. Right? It is clearly accelerating in its heightened speed. So then you will say it's like, okay, but still, what has it got to do with inner work? Okay, like why it opens a change of weather, change of environment, everything, energies become intensified. But what does it have to do with inner work? Okay, why do I have to even like meditate or look into myself or find clarity within myself, okay, onto this particular part? So again, we look into the yin and yang, okay? So everything, okay, in our life itself, okay, we see that Chinese metaphysics, we talk about the yin and yang. The yang part, okay, of life itself represents our outer work. Everything is yin and yang. If you have inner work, you have outer work. Okay, so the yang part represents outer work. That's achievement. Okay, that is the part that all of us, if not most of us, are trained subconsciously to achieve, to do, okay, to in a way to chase for in our life. Ever since young, we go to school, okay, we are given with a lot of tasks, a lot of like target, with a lot of goal, and a lot of like in a way like benefits or lure, let's put it that way, okay, in forms of like trophy, okay, right, validations, okay, presence. Ever since that we are young, when we have certain achievement, when we have great results, where we are the top students in the school, when we are the top 3 students in the class, that is where you will be applauded. That is where you will be in a way validated. So from young, we are in a way, okay, grown in an environment that somehow it pushes us to pay attention more onto the achievement, the outer work. All right, we only in a way pay attention that I have to be successful, I have to get a certain in a way recognitions in life, I have to get a certain status, I need to actually make the money, okay, the wealth, the money. Those of you who attended my wealth code recently, you know, achievement yang is everything relating to the outer work. Okay, I have to have the right, the property, the home, okay, the car, the brands, okay, the lifestyle. All these things are the outer work. And every one of us knows about this because that is how we've been primed to it. Subconsciously, ever since we were born in this world, everyone talks about this, okay? It's like the brand that you carry, okay? It's the house that you stay in, it's the car that you drive, okay? All these, in a way, are subjected to this particular big group that is called the achievement or the outer work. But due to this itself, okay, we have often, okay, right, most of the time, if not all the time, we have neglected about the yin counterpart. In a way that very often than not, we are not reminded about the yin counterpart, the fulfillment, the inner work, the happiness, the satisfactions, the joy that we have, okay? To us, we believe that happiness comes is when we can afford the brands, the branded goods, okay? The supercars, okay? That big like housing, okay? Or big bungalows that we have. That is something that we accustom ourselves into. I'm not saying that those things are not good. Of course, it's important. It gives us a lifestyle, okay? It's that type of enjoyment. It's success. It tells us that we are growing along the way. Why not? But the moment we forget about the yin counterpart, about the fulfillment, about how this inner work is important, okay, then we will slowly go into the positions that we've forgotten about our heart calling. The heart calling is where period 9, that's a major test. As just now earlier on you can see, okay, the opening between, okay, the two equations of the, I would say, the yin and yang, okay, because the centerness of the heart itself becomes hollow and hollow. That's why you will see more and more people, the test, the major test of period 9 here is all about, in a way, getting ourselves into the fulfillment of the heart. Why, whether or not we will be in a way affected greatly by the accelerated energy in the external world. When everything in the external world are going like in a way at an accelerated speed, how are we affected by it? Right? And you will see that more and more people will be affected by it negatively. That's when people go into depression because they are not aware. They have no idea as in like why all these changes in the world will impact us. Because we think that, oh, the world is changing into a more futuristic technology, right? The gadgets, the systems, the technologies, it just gets better. But why is this going to affect me? It's supposed to, in a way, to make my life better. True, partly of it. But if you see, looking at all the things that we have been introduced now, the artificial intelligence, okay, the AI, the chat GPT, all this, like in a way, the creative work that all this artificial intelligence can do for us, eventually you will see, now it is only at its testing ground. But eventually when all these things go into full force in the upcoming few years, it will reach its heightened positions and in full force. Imagine that when it reaches the full force itself, right, okay, many of us will be impacted and many of the people in the market now will be out of, in a way, jobs. Okay, you will see that a lot of people will be massively, aggressively, suddenly it comes like a tsunami that these people are no longer needed. Okay, so what we think and we believe that is our achievement all this far, okay, it is something that we are good at. We study creative work, we study in a way, we are good writers, we are good in a way artists and other things. in the near future, you know that this will be out of the equation, okay, right? Because a lot of times things over technologies and AI, it has taken over it. And when that things happen without us being aware of its, in a way, importance of how is it going to impact us, right? Our inner work or the yin counterpart in ourselves will be affected. So therefore, it is important for us to find, you and I, every one of us, we were born whole, great from many aspects. But it's just that in this life itself, right, a lot of time, okay, when we focus on the outer world, we focus on just one thing that we think we are good at. If you're good at accounting, you think that that would be one of the things that you're good at. If you're good at, probably in a way, if you're a doctor, if you're a lawyer, okay, you think that that is your profession and this is the only thing that you're good at. But when we look at inner work here, means that we want to dwell deeper into ourselves to find out, to realize, to in a way find clarity within ourselves, to search deep down in the memory work, okay, within our own subconscious, that to realize that we are more than just one thing. We are more than just like, in a way, an accountant or a banker, or we are more than just like, in a way, a doctor or a lawyer, because these are the fixated label of the outer work of achievement that the society have labeled. But within us, okay, there are so much more. But if we can't find this so-called so much more, there are limited potential or limited possibilities within us when the external world is changing massively. And that is when that, in a way, out of balance is happening, more and more people will go into a depression because they can only have fear. As in, I don't know what the world is going on right now, okay, because what I believe in, what I think is my best skill, okay, suddenly, right, the world is taken over by some AI, some technology things, okay? That is when people will start to go into, okay, an emptiness state, where you start to find that it's like, oh my God, okay, I've never had even think that one day, okay, my golden rice bowl will be taken away from me, okay? So that is the purpose of using Chinese metaphysics, okay? Because Chinese metaphysics is supposed to be a tool to predict. Not to say that when we predict the future, and so we can in a way like, predict how well we can be, but we can predict in the sense of how is it going to impact the society. What is the energy that's going on, okay, externally, so that we can work on ourselves strategically to in a way balance the external world. So when we know how to do this, we'll ensure that we keep on in a way, okay, changing and evolving with the energy externally. But for people who are not aware of it, when it hits you, you will feel that, gosh, I didn't see it coming. And still up to now, a lot of people still do not see it coming. All right. So in order for us to go into that part, it needs work. Even though you don't like the word inner work, because manifestation sounds so much easier. Because manifestations, to a lot of people, you thought that, oh, I'll just sit down there, close my eyes, okay, and think of the good things, okay, and the good things will come and the bad things will go. But that's not how things work. So how exactly manifestation work is, okay, these are the equations of the yin and yang, okay. Imagine that the yin and yang, our memory, our mindfulness is awareness here, okay, and manifestations is a graph like this, all right. So why is it we have to go into inner work? Inner work means we have to dig deep into ourselves. We have to delve deep into our memory. We go back to the past. Why people follow like Peggy? Okay, Peggy, I remember looking back at some records and all that. Peggy was the first one who signed up last year when it comes to the Soul's Journey. Okay, and there are some of you who signed up for this year's Soul's Journey. Okay, we have Serene, we have Mr. Lim. Okay, last year and all that. They have been there. Right, but the thing is, why would we want to actually go on the Soul's Journey? Why Egypt and all these things? Of course, during my preview, I've talked about it. But overall here is we have to do something, not only in a way mentally, not only going for class, okay, understanding theoretically about certain things. We have to bring ourselves, okay, our body, our temple. The body is our temple. It means that our DNA, our body, okay, every part of us, we have to go to a location where we can feel the intensity of this energy. And we can actually, in a way, try, okay, to work on ourselves, to meditate, okay, because every time that we go and visit all these, like, in a way, ancient, so like civilizations, places and all that, a place with a lot of histories, with intense history, our intention is actually to bring back the memories of the past, because all of us are the evolved soul. We have evolved over like the past thousands and thousands of years up to this lifetime in these manifestations. But there are a lot of seeds of memories that is still within us, okay, who we truly are, okay. What are the things that we have gone through? What are those lessons there? What are the breakthroughs, okay, that we come into this lifetime to understand more? Right? In other words, if you look into just the scientific approach, because scientific, a lot of times they don't believe in past life, okay? Example, they only look into this life, but scientifics, you look at like, in a way, NLP, hypnotherapy, if you look at psychology and all that, they will, in a way, using hypnotherapy or hypnosis to bring you back into your childhood state. Why childhood state? Because that is your memory, okay? A lot of times, in a way, psychology believes that, okay, whatever that is hindering you right now, your obstacles, your blockages, okay, has something to do with your past memory, the trauma that probably you have gone through. So what they will do is they will try to bring you back, okay, to this memory, so that the deeper that you go, can you see the equations of the graph, okay? Because memory, mindfulness, and manifestations are in a way an alignment. It's a set of things, all right? A lot of times, right, people just wants to go into manifestations. They want to manifest. But if you are not in depth enough with your memory, okay, if you do not know deep enough of who you are, what you're capable of, what is your weakness, what is your blockage, what has been your trauma, if you cannot go deep enough, okay, to understand your memory, okay, and then understand the memory and now fix it, okay, overcome it, embrace it and release it to free yourself, you cannot go far in terms of your manifestations. And that is also the reason why manifestations don't work, okay? I mean, in a way, I won't say that it won't work, but it won't work to your desire. Because it's like whatever you want, it doesn't come true. But whatever you do not want, okay, it comes true. It means it comes, negative impact rather than a positive impact. And why is this so? Because the yin and yang clearly tells us that the Tao, the path, the middle path of the Tao, okay, is actually our mindfulness. So that now we know that our mindfulness, okay, only through our mind, we can bring it, okay, to the deeper memory. And the deeper the memory, the greater the manifestations. The deeper roots that we can go into, the clearer understanding we can delve down into our past, okay, right? As many layers as possible, if we can, in a way, really dive deep into our past to find who we truly are. What are the powers or the seedings of powers that we have within us? And when we are able to do that, imagine, okay, different people will actually, our graph of life, okay, our destiny graph, our mindfulness is different for different people. For people who can go very deep into this, okay, like example, you are well practitioners of like, you can remember and recall, okay, many of your past life. The deeper you can go, okay, the higher you can manifest. So that's why a lot of people couldn't manifest this because they didn't work on the memory part. And in order to work on the memory part, that is inner work, okay? Because this requires work. So if you know, okay, Chinese Metaphysics, there's this part, okay, that they call like using parts or whatever to see past life, okay? When I grew up in the temple, there is this skill that is called Sam Sai Shui. Sam Sai Shui means it's like a 3 lifetime sort of readings, okay? It will in a way look into our past and our future, okay, how is it going to be? Like, why is it all these readings, okay, out of Chinese astrology? Why is this reading important? Because the purpose is to actually bring us down to our memory, to make us realize, okay, in this lifetime, our blockage is in a way, sometimes is caused by this lifetime, childhood time, or it can be many previous lifetimes, okay? So the deeper we can go into this, the higher we can manifest things, okay, into our reality. And that's why it is also very important now, because the portal has opened. The speeds gets accelerated, all right? Everything now is like if we look into the speeds get accelerated, everything, our world, external world becomes noisier. Everything is at speed, okay? Everything is moving so fast, it's changing so fast. Sometimes it's too overwhelming for us. So for people who cannot ground ourselves, who cannot see our roots, okay, who cannot see who we truly are, we cannot bear the fruits, okay, of abundance at the end of the day, all right? So we need to see it. That's why if like people who are just flings or flung, okay, what external or external world says that, oh, now we are in a trend, okay, right? People say 跟潮流, we go into trend. Oh, the trend is like famous for all these things. Oh, you follow lah? Oh, now this trend is like people wants to be in a way, because everyone is an influencer. I also want my children to be influencer. Example, one trend is that everyone is a accountant, and I want my children to be accountant. You're following the trend. But if you follow the trend without really looking into ourselves, into the deep-seated memories within ourselves, the chances is we might miss points, okay? Because every one of us, the roots are different, all right? Every one of us are limited edition. There's only one of us. But the thing is, when we compare ourselves by looking at other people's achievement, we look into ourselves by looking at other people's, in a way, generalization, that is the biggest mistake that will actually happen on any human beings, okay? Because we now categorize that overall, generally, society thinks that this is, okay, the most sought after job, right? Because if that's the case and we follow through, then that is the time that we've truly forgotten about our roots. Because you and I are different. Every one of us is different. So when we go into inner work, either you do it meditatively at home, you use different methods or methodology to help yourself to delve deeper into your memory. It's not like, I would say that, oh, when you do inner work, does it mean that, oh, all of us like walks around like a guru, okay? We can almost like float in the air. No, be practical, okay? We are human. There is still a life that we have to sustain, okay? There are still certain achievements that we have to do. We cannot run away from this reality, because this is the reality that we are living on earth. In the olden days, you can say that, okay, I can live a life without really striving in the workforce. I cannot even like go out to work, but I can still survive, because in the old days, okay, I mean, we are talking about like thousands of years ago, like possibilities is like you have your own piece of land, you have your own piece of farm, you technically don't really need to mingle or socialize that much with other people. All right, you don't need to, because you can farm and you can eat, you are able to sustain, you have your own little family, and that's all it takes. All right. But nowadays we are different. The land that you think you own, chances is one day it will be taken away from you. All right? Everything changes. One war comes and you're gone. Okay? One earthquake comes, okay, and all your properties are gone. All right? So I'm not saying that in the olden days they don't have this, but there are lesser attachment onto all these things. Okay? If I farm here, if this doesn't work out, anything happens, okay, I would look for another piece of land and I'll farm again. But now, due to everything, overachievement of some human beings on earth, okay, things becomes what? It control issues. Like, you know, a few people on earth probably can own half of earth itself. So when you come into these equations, okay, we have to play along with the game. We cannot, in a way, use the old method as in like, oh, 二世無爭, okay, I just meditate. Inner work means spirituality, means that I escape from all these things and, in a way, stay in the cave. Right, seriously, in the old days, you go to a forest, anytime you walk out, you have safe fruit trees or whatsoever for you to survive on. I can tell you nowadays, even monkeys cannot survive on nature, okay? Because everything is taken away. So the equations is different. We still have to strive, okay, for the achievement, for the sustainability of life in this reality world. But at the same time, we cannot forget our roots. Because once we forget our roots, okay, it's also the timing where, okay, we cannot create the fruits. Because it's like, if you look at the tree of lives, okay, you look at chakras, okay, and all these things, like if you are into inner work, you know about all these things. All right? Now is the timing for us, okay? Inner work means that now for us to look into the roots. How many of us truly knows our roots? Okay, a lot of times we have been, in a way, like prime. Let's use the word prime. We have been primed in a world or in a society that believes we know, or believes, or we make believe, or we think we know who we are. But most of the time, okay, we do not know, okay? Right, what is our root? What are we capable of? What we believe we are they truly who we are, or is just the circumstances that it has been incorporated or in a way seeded on us when we were young? When we were young, we were told that we are so and so. We were told that, no, you only have achievement when you have the highest score in class. Example, okay? Right, you only, in a way, will be seen as, like, in a way, a good girl if you obey. So all these things has been told to us. That's not who we are. Remember, at the end of the day, in all my soul's journey teach, is the highest level, okay, of, like, in a way, the evolutions of the soul. every one of us, okay, are demarcated into the three big categories through the law of the universe. We are either the creator, the preserver, or the destroyer. But the world, okay, has shaped us in a way, the cosmic trinity of things. But the world has shaped us in a way that we look up to creators. We see that, oh, creators are the one that should be given a lot of emphasis on, okay? What about preserver, okay? Sometimes our job or our purpose in life is to preserve the wisdom, okay, on earth itself. It is well preserved because there are some ancient forefathers before us preserve this knowledge for us, preserve this wisdom for us, okay? But the thing is, a lot of times, if I say this creator, preserver, destroyer, right, ask yourself honestly, if someone tells you that, oh wow, you are the creator, you are the magicians, you make things happen, you make things happen, you create magic. It feels good, right? It's like, wow, okay, I feel like, whoa, okay, it's like a brush to your ego. But now if I say, oh, you're the destroyer, the first thing is your ego might come and say that, oh no, what do you mean destroyer? No, okay, I'm not a destroyer. Oh, you're preserver, nah, boring, okay? But the fact is, universe thrive on this three energy in synchronicity. Every position is different, okay? Every position is also as important as one another. We need these three cosmic trinity, okay, the trinity of things to work together, right? But the thing is, if we cannot even find the root within us, who we are in the first place, how are we going to manifest our greatest talent? How are we going to manifest a life to our, in a way, likings, okay, on earth? So therefore, the roots, remember, creates the fruits. Right? So a lot of times, right, we focus on top. Every time it's how come no fruit? How come no fruit? Or how come this tree is dying? How come the leaves are dropping? But we have not in a way looked into that, the poisons probably come from the roots, okay? There is something wrong in the soil or the root or the resources that you're getting in the roots itself. So inner work itself is bringing us towards that path to find out, okay, what exactly is going on within our roots, our seeds of memories that we have within us, our belief and our mindset that we have within us in this lifetime and also many previous lifetimes, okay? So that is the purpose that we go into inner work. And we know that in this era, when the new transition is going to happen, more of this work needs to be introduced, whether or not it will capture attention, whether or not, hi Melissa, okay, whether or not, okay, whether people are interested in this work. To me, of course, okay, people are interested in wealth, people are interested in achievement. I always say one thing, I come up with a wealth sort of like contenting, how to in a way proven techniques to manifest abundance and wealth, how to sell, okay, right, like in a way, like with ease, okay, and you know, okay, somehow it's like, in a way, when you're at flow, all these are things, sales, marketing, branding, okay, right, you go into like business, okay, you go into wealth. These are the things or the topics that people love. So anytime we can come up with topics like this, okay, and you will see there will automatically, effortlessly, more students. But I cannot, in a way, forego the topic of inner work, even though the response, of course, in a way, it's not even warm most of the time. But we need to know because this is important. And that is also the purpose for us to actually teach yin and yang, right? Balance, okay? When we want to talk about Chinese astrology, when we want to talk anything regarding astrology, which balance is the key word. So even though it is not as responsive, that is our duty, okay, as a light worker. And so many of you here, Mr. Lim, Serene, Peggy, okay, Melissa, you have been through all these things. Now you bear the light within you because there should be more clarity in your life. So what is stopping you from bringing this light forward? What is stopping you from, in a way, enlightening other people through the lights that you have discovered? Okay, that would be something that probably you need to actually, in a way, remember in yourself. Why are you still not doing anything? Because we want this light. Firstly, we want to discover it. Secondly, we want to bring this light out, okay, to the people around us, okay, to enlighten, okay, people around us. That is our job. So if I'm into this job as a teacher or whatever you call it, okay, I know what makes the money, but I also know what is important, okay, for me to balance up the light. And that is the purpose of inner work, right? So in a way that, okay, All right, so I hope that you understand a bit. If you have any questions, okay, you can actually ask me. Right, Peggy said, it's true. Thankfully, I go on the soul journey with you without doubts and expectations. Clarity is so powerful, and every moment now is a blessing. Right, good, okay? Even in a very toxic environment, because now the society, okay, we are already in a toxic environment. Externally, you see massive energy, you see pollution, the sound, everything that's going on, okay? Right, without realizing it. I mean, you're talking about thousands of years ago. Where are all these pollutions coming on? Okay, right? That's why, okay, for those of you, I know many of you have signed up for the preview this Friday, right? Okay, inner work, this particular topic tonight, I'm going to share with you everything about inner work. So if you have not signed up for this free preview, okay, about the power of sound healing, meditations, all these are inner work. You talk about in a way, now my meditations, you have to in a way bear in mind, it's not the same typical meditations that you expect. It's not just really sit cross-legged like a Buddha or try to be a Buddha, close your eyes and blissful feeling. No, because my type of meditations have yin and yang to it. Everything in metaphysics has yin and yang to it, right? There will be some of more aggressive, okay? And there will be some which is more in a way like the sound of silence. It's a sound, okay? So the power of sound healing preview here is also a session where I will share with you in case you're interested. Probably you have attended some sound sessions before, you have attended my, in a way, experiential workshops, okay, which I hardly have the time to actually do. I have very good response for that, okay, right? Every time I go on a meditation workshop during full moon and new moon or during eclipses, okay, we have about 100, sometimes 100 over students, okay. That's a very good response, okay. But the thing is, okay, because in order for me to ensure that every time full moon and new moon, okay, that I have to run the workshop, I might not be able to commit it. But if there's any full moon or new moon that is impactful, that is powerful, I will definitely in a way hold certain actions to ground, hold certain workshops to ground those energy. So if you're interested to know more about the power of sound healing from a metaphysical point of view, from my point of view, and you know the way that I share is, okay, I don't really follow. I mean, there are many sound healers out there. There are many people practicing sound sessions and all that, okay? But if you want to understand from my perspective, the power of sound healing and why is it important, join this free preview, okay, which is happening this Friday, 9 to 10 p.m, okay? You join it to understand more, like different modality of tools that we use and why is it so, why is it now, okay, right? I mean, in a way. And you know that those of you been to Egypt, you know that sound healing, the sound thing, they have even like a sound healing, like a temple, okay, in one of the oldest, I would say, pyramids, okay, in Egypt. So it have existed since thousands and thousands of years ago, okay? But why we are reintroducing these things? It's nothing new, you know. It's nothing even new age. A lot of people think that, oh, this part of the new age thing is not. It's something very ancient. It's something very old. Even in the pyramids, okay, and the temples, okay, in the churches and also in the temples in Egypt and all that, okay, or the Greek temple, they built it according to the resonance of the sound, okay, to a different frequencies, to different hertz, okay, so that when they actually, in a way, sound any of their instrumental tools, okay, the resonance of the sound, okay, inside the temple itself can actually help us, okay, to vibrate in our body, okay, to do certain healing, interaction with the body, or even in a way trigger some awakening within us. So if you are interested, right, okay, do join me on this event. I will see you on Friday. And of course, okay, some of you probably have known that, okay, we have launched, okay, this year's Soul's Journey. As I mentioned, some of you here has already signed up for it, all right? So I really, really hope, okay, that these are all my Soul's Journey students, okay, from last year, all right? We had a really, really amazing, I won't say it's a good time, but it's miraculous, okay, to some of us, all right? It was emotional to some of us as well, all right? So the whole journey itself is something that you couldn't just explain on words. You have to be there to feel it with your whole body, okay? This is my pioneer group, okay? There's one big group of us who have actually, in a way, been to Egypt last year to recollect the soul. So this year, we are having this particular journey again, okay, for Egypt, Recollections of the Soul on the 27th of October up to the 8th of November. Okay, so if you have any callings or if you want to understand more, okay, you can actually, in a way, check out our registration link, okay, which is shared in the comments below. Or if you want to understand more, you can always in a way reach out to my team, okay, so that they can also share with you the replay link, okay, because we do have a replay link to explain about the soul's journey. Okay, so if you want to understand more, you can always watch the replay link and to see whether there is a calling for you. And now we are going on an early bird price, okay, and this early bird price will actually end on the 31st of May. All right, so this ongoing, okay. For the Egypt, okay, recollection of the soul, we still have, in a way, we only sold like in a way slightly more than half, okay, so we still have at least probably about 8 seats available for Egypt. Now the Jordan liberations of the soul, maximum we only have about 3 seats, okay. We have to really finalize the numbers because this week has been like super busy for us, okay. We have not really finalized the numbers, like probably we'll only have about 3 seats, okay, to reach its maximum capacity. So Egypt and Jordan liberations of the soul is happening on the 9th November to 18 November. All right, so you don't have, there's no prerequisite because both of it, okay, both of the journey, you will need an initiations, okay, that starts in the pyramids and also the Sphinx under private initiations and private sessions. All right, so if you're interested, you want to find out more, okay, you can always click onto the link to see its prices and all that. And I can just tell you one thing, the price will just keep going up. All right, so every year, okay, right, the price will keep going up. If this Egypt is always been part of your bucket list, okay, do consider in a way manifest and make this into a reality. Go, okay, to these places itself, okay, as a part of something that you put in the effort for your soul to recollect, okay, the memories of the soul itself, so that now at the end of the day you will remember yourself, remembering, bringing back different parts of you, different fragments of your soul, okay, into your this lifetime, because this is your true power. Amy, okay, all my little babies are there. Yes, super amazing soul's journey. Okay, make me understand myself better and what's the reason I was stuck in that something, okay, right? And it's very good that I will have to really do a shout out like Peggy and Amy and Melissa is doing a good start, okay, of change, okay, but I need to see more effort and aggressiveness on your side. I also see in a way Chong Mei Yong, okay, these are the few ones. I mean, if I don't mention your name, doesn't mean that you're not making progress, okay, right? It's just that in a way, because I see these people are progressing in a field that are spreading the light, okay, and I'm very, very utterly, in a way, like proud and grateful, okay, because these are the people that you can see that they have first in a way found the light and they are shining it. All right, invaluable experience in Egypt, okay, achieve very good. And remember, you have to bring this, okay, in your lifetime, because this is the thing that will push you forward, okay. Firstly, we need to know it, we understand it, and it will help us, right? Not every one of us needs to come into the service of the light like me, like Leanne, okay, and her lovely darling partner, okay, they are both in corporates, okay. Doesn't mean that, oh, when we talk about soul journey and you have to like in a way becomes a spiritual guru and all that. No, because remember, all this power that you have in a way recollected as part of your soul's memory, you can use it in this reality, in this world itself, okay. You can use it up to a level where, of course, things will still happen, obstacles will still be there, this is part of life, okay, blockages, chaos will still be there, but now you're equipped, okay, with what we call the power and the clarity to overcome the chaos that you will meet. All right, the tests, trials, lessons will still be there. But now, what makes the difference is you are a different person. All right, so thank you so much to all of you. That's what I want to share with all of you tonight. I really hope to see, okay, some of you come and understand more about the power of sound healing. Right? If you think that any of your friends, okay, because it's a free preview session, just to understand how it works, okay? So if you think that any of your friends, okay, and in a way somehow has been emotional, has been trapped in a more like a depressive state, or in a way that somehow you think, okay, understanding more about our inner works will benefit any of your friends, please tag them, send them the link, ask them to register so that they can understand more, all right, about it. All right. Now you love chaos, Amy. Be careful what you wish for, okay? Okay, yep, Leanne, okay, I will see you, okay, this Friday as well. All right, so thank you so much to all of you, okay? Have a great evening ahead. I really hope to see some of you on this Friday. And meanwhile, take care, okay? Stay safe and remember, stay in a reflective mode, all right? Because this is the best time, the moment, the more we reflect onto ourselves, our past, right, onto everything, okay, that in a way that have happened to us, that is when the key power or the key clarity lies. All right, so remember, stay on a reflective mode, okay? Reflect on every moment so that for us to actually find that clarity within us. All right, so thank you so much, okay? Bye-bye. If in case you have not shared this link out or this Facebook Live out, okay, on your Facebook page, please do help me to share it out so that it can reach out to more people. All right, thank you so much. Bye-bye. Good night.